Welcome back to Adventuring with Angie. Last week I added to my space, took time to myself, and allowed space for serendipity. This week I'm overcoming some fears, embracing some thrills, reflecting on this off-grid life, and sharing moments with friends in nature. It's 4th of July weekend, and between growing up in Massachusetts and living in the Bay, I have never had a holiday be so quiet. My friend Camille came up to escape the fireworks in the city, and together we took ourselves down to the river. I have always wanted to jump off a rock or a cliff into the water, but it also always terrifies me. Standing on the edge of this rock, my heart is literally pounding like a drum in my chest. The river below is whispering to me, tempting me to do it, and yet I'm so afraid to make it happen. As I plunge into the cool crystal waters, an exhilarating rush washes over me. It's as if I've kind of broken free from these old limitations and embraced this new courage that just came to me. After the evening sun casts its warm glow, I find myself by a crackling fire, surrounded by the untamed beauty in the foothills. I love these simple pleasures. Just the act of lighting a fire and listening to it burn can be so soothing. I had some free time, so I decided to spend it fixing the desk in my office. It was kind of like an act of self-care and an opportunity to nurture my creative spirit. I know that I want to get back into sewing when the weather turns, and while I plan to use this desk, it's currently broken. I actually wasn't sure how to put this desk back together, and I didn't want to go to the store, so I'm glad I was able to make it work with the things I had at the house. My desk is fixed and it's sturdy. I only want to sew up here. This room has sort of just become like my clothing sorting room, and I am in the process of figuring out what I want to keep, what I want to donate, and what I want to rip apart at the seams and use for patterns for future clothes. After fixing the desk, I took myself to the river for a quick dip. I'm getting really good at the hike in, swim, and hike out all in under an hour. It's Thursday, and Oval is coming by for some more winter prep. We split more of the giant oak tree, and I was kind of obsessed with the wavy knots and kinks across some of the cuts. Each piece of wood carries its own unique story, and it's such a reminder of the beauty found in these imperfections. After splitting, we drove the truck up and stacked the wood in my backyard. I really need to figure out some bigger and more permanent wood storage for all of the wood that's coming my way. I'm open to suggestions, so if you have any ideas or helpful tips, drop them in the comments below. I could really use the community's wisdom with this one. After working so hard, we took ourselves to the river for a quick dip. Once at the river, the water called, and without hesitation, I jumped in. This water is so refreshing, and it always gives me exactly what I need. It's also moments like these that remind me why I chose to live like this. On my way home, I couldn't help but think about how grateful I was for all the wood that I have that'll keep me warm in these cold months. How grateful I am for the beauty that I'm finding in all of this nature and its patterns. And how grateful I am for the river that always welcomes me home. It's been really hot up here, and poor Enzo is wearing this thick sweater of hair, so I decided to attempt to groom him by myself. I've only ever done this once before, and I had the help of someone, so I'm a little nervous around what I'm capable of. After an hour and a half of cutting, and with the help of a lot of treats and some deep breaths, I got it done. And I think Enzo is enjoying his summer cut as well. I'm awaiting the arrival of two friends from my former tech days. The excitement is mixed with a tinge of emotional heaviness. Precious is actually coming to retrieve her items, and just knowing that she's going to be in this space, in my space, is bringing up a lot of emotions. I'm looking forward to seeing my friends, but I'm also feeling really wary too. I made myself a breakfast of champions, a Beyond sausage, egg, and cheese sandwich to kickstart my day. And as soon as my friends arrived, I took them to the river. We all worked together at Snowflake, and our bond grew strong as we navigated the wild ride that was that company. Our lives changed in ways we couldn't imagine, and that shared experience forged a deep connection among us. That being said, they are not big nature fans, but their willingness to come to the river just to cheer me up meant the world to me. After swimming, we got some brunch in town, walked around a little bit, and Zer poured us some wine to try at home. Good morning! My friends just left. It is Sunday morning, and I decided to come out here and play some fetch with Benny Bum. He is not fetching the ball. Big surprise. So I'm just gonna lay on this hammock in the sun. It's been a minute. My friend Jamani offered to take me to a locals-only swimming hole today, a hidden gem I'd heard about but never visited. The hike was challenging, full of switchbacks and steep terrain, but as we followed the foot trails and scrambled over rocks, we emerged at a beautiful, secluded blue pool. I couldn't believe it was real.
There's sand on the other side of this big rock.
Dope.
Sand, but really you can jump in anywhere.
Dope, let's do it. We had the place to ourselves, and its peaceful ambiance and calming waters were precisely what I needed. Swimming for hours, we let the worries and heaviness dissolve in the water's embrace. Jamani mentioned the waterfalls, and though I had heard whispers of them, I have yet to find them. We hiked about a mile, crossing a stream and climbing down some rocks before finally finding these stunning falls. River trip number 2 of the day. We stopped and we got lunch, and now we're here, and boy oh boy are we here. It's so beautiful, past a little waterfall, and I'm sweating, so we're gonna go in. I feel so lucky that this is what I'm doing. Even though I feel incredibly sad, the sight and setting of the river's falls, the water's chill, and the company of a good friend is more than enough to counter the weight I'm holding. We stayed for a couple of hours before the sun started to set, and we made our way back home. Later that night, I found myself feeling utterly drained, and I couldn't bring myself to do anything except close my door, sage my room, and go to bed. Thank you for joining me for another week of adventures. If you liked this week, please take a moment to like the video and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss a story. Next week, my mom visits. I take my river adventures to the next level, and I find myself putting in the work I asked myself to do. Thank you again for hanging with me, and I can't wait to adventure more next week. Bye.